and light the candles first. And Rosella, would you like to light candles? Okay. Sure, you haven't been here for a while. We'd love to have you do that. Please join me in an attitude of prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you this day and we give gratitude and thanks for each of us being able to be here in this space and to come before you as the humble group that we are. We are each so delighted to be here, to share our love and spirit with one another and to celebrate you. Help us go forth and to be able to be all that we can during this time. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, people, we're a cappella. So who would like to choose a song to start? How about Joyful, Joyful, number 10? You better start with a beat. Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. Thou art giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed. Wellspring of the joy of living, ocean depth of happy rest. Thou our Father, Christ our brother, all who live in love are thine. Teach us how to love each other, lift us to the joy divine. Wonderful, great job. Please be seated. You did wonderful, guys. Let's keep it up. The next portion is the message from our pastor. So please help me welcome our pastor, Reverend Steve Atkins, to the front.
Working?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good morning to everybody.
Morning.
Thanks for coming today. Something I was thinking about today, and most of the week actually, is how I correct my life. And in the past, it's been identifying what was wrong and overcoming the wrong. In the last couple of years, what I've decided to do is to identify the good and build on the good. And once you create enough goodness in your life, the bad just doesn't seem to be there anymore. That seems to be working most of the time for me, but you got your own mind in there that wants to jump in and help, as it says. I remember each step you take on the path towards correcting your life, there's definitely choices to be made, paths to take, different things that you have to do at different times. And I don't think life is a constant challenge, but when the challenges come along, how you handle them determines basically your karma to move forward with. I remember when I first quit drinking, I was living in my mom's house, and she wasn't there. She was out of state for a couple of years. And me and my wife and two small kids were in the house. I was been about a year sober, and a call from my mom, and she said, I'm coming back in 30 days, and you guys need to move out. And, you know, with two small kids and a wife, and I'm the only one working, there's not a lot of money to go around usually. So, you know, I said, well, I've taken on this new discipline, I've taken on this new philosophy of trying to be positive, so let's see how it happens. And about a week into that, I got a check in the mail from a company I had worked for 2.5 years before that had gone out of business, and they closed out their retirement fund. So I got a check for about $300 or $400, not enough to rent anywhere, but it was a step towards renting. So I took that step, I built on the goodness of things, and it worked out. I'm sure that dealing with the difficult things, the incorrect things in your life, can also produce positive effects. But like I said, what I have found is that when you concentrate on the goodness and build on the goodness, you're moving towards that rather than struggling with the bad all the time. The group that I sobered up with had a saying that you're not climbing towards heaven, you're backing out of hell. And that's true for a little while you're sobered up, but at some point you begin to see the goodness of things, and that's the turn that I made and I'm trying to keep in my life. I was leaving to come here today, and I'm riding down this country road that I live on, and I saw about 15 people on bicycles riding and enjoying themselves. I saw 2 people riding on horses. And I saw a guy driving an old 43 Willys Jeep down the road that he'd reconditioned. So, what an interesting time, just if you keep your eyes open, keep looking around you, and keep looking for the small things that create joy in your life. You can always find the difficult things if you want. They're there. They're always going to be there. That's life. Things that ache when you get up, like I said last week, things that don't quite unfold the way you want them to unfold. And I can tell you, dealing with insurance companies like I've been, they don't unfold to very easily without a tremendous amount of effort. But it is unfolding and it is working. So I would ask you to think about this. The last thing I'll share with you is something that my father told me. Now, he was a real tough guy. He was ex-Philadelphia street fighter, turned pilot. He was a veteran of World War II, the Korean War, and almost ended up in the Vietnam War as a pilot. And he was real tough. We had 6 kids in our family, and he looked at us like a military unit most of the time. He was raised by his father, and he didn't know about loving children because of that. But he had some interesting perspectives on life. And one of the things he told me, he said, you know what the secret to leading a happy life is, a life that's reasonably peaceful? I said, what's that? He said, living it without any regrets. He said, whatever you do, whether it's a job, a relationship, or a hobby, do it 110%. Give it everything you got and then go an extra couple steps. And if it doesn't work out, then you can step away from it with no regrets and move on to what's next. And that's a lot what the spiritual teachings teach you to do in spiritualism. Spiritualism says don't forget the past, but don't be bound by it. And that's pretty much the same thing. Learn how to move beyond through your past. Know when it's time to draw a line and say, I'm done with that. Take responsibility for what's yours and move away from what's not yours. So these philosophies, these principles, I remember them, I live them, and they do work. They just don't work as fast as we want them to sometimes. Spirit takes a little longer to make things happen for you because what they make changes for are permanent. They're not curing today's problems. They move you towards the eternity of who you are in a positive fashion. So just remember that when you expect help from Spirit. It's not going to come exactly the way you think because of that perspective. They see it from eternity. They don't see it from the pain you're in today only. They see it through all of eternity for you. So give them time to work with that time frame. Know that they're working with that time frame. And do your part. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Always inspirational. Always inspirational. Thank you. Our church is comprised of 3 different portions. We have the healing portion, we have the lecture, and the inspirational demonstration of gifts. The first portion that we will go into, this works if I do this, right? The first portion we'll go into is the healing portion. And this is an opportunity to be able to have hands-on healing from individuals who work diligently in order to train, in order to be able to provide the service. They're channeling God's love directly to and through each of you for whatever that you need. It doesn't matter what it is. God knows, and will take care of it. So this morning we're going to go ahead and we're going to ask Ann to be a healer, and then I'm going to go over and be a healer. If you hear this, that means the chair is available, and I'm going to pass this back to Linda so that she'll be our bell lovely lady. We're going to ask Ashkhen to come up and please join her in the entire meditation along with reading the prayer for spiritual healing. So take this time to really be in a quiet space. This is a real opportunity to take you far beyond and into wherever you need to go. So blessings to you.
Good morning. Please turn to the back of your hymnals. Let us read the prayer for spiritual healing together. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God. Sitting in a comfortable position so we can start the meditation. Feet straight on the floor, palms up in your lap. Take in a few deep breaths, inhale and exhale. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And with each exhale, let go. If there is any tension in your physical body, just breathe it out with your exhale. Let go of the thoughts if there are any on your mind. As you focus more and more on your breath, you feel these thoughts just still, not interfering with you anymore. Just become aware of your breath. Feel the flow of your breath. Just follow the motion of your breath. As you breathe in and breathe out, just feel your breath flowing gently throughout your entire body. There are no thoughts, no interruptions. As you follow your breath deeper and deeper, you become aware of the sacred space within you that is taking you deeper and deeper to this space within that feels calm, quiet, and soothing. Connect with this peaceful presence. As you connect, you hear your inner voice saying, I am at peace within and without. I am at peace within and without. As you embrace this peacefulness, you become aware of the stillness of your mind and the quietness. In this silence, you sense wholeness. In this silence, you become aware that you are infinite. You are multidimensional. You are not limited to any reality, to any thought, to any given condition. As you connect deeper and deeper, you discover the greatness of your spirit, of your inner being that is still within. As you allow yourself to rise above, higher and above your head, you become aware of your higher self that is surrounded with bright golden light. Connect with this presence. This is your divine presence, the divine light, the spark of your great spirit that is up above and beyond everything. This is the mighty presence that governs your entire being. Your thoughts, your emotions on human level. Connect with this mighty presence, your I am presence, that is above all and everything. There are no thoughts in this state of consciousness. It is a pure state of being. Indulge in this presence of golden light, the mighty I am, and just be. Breathe in and breathe out, and be in this heightened state of awareness. As you acknowledge this presence, you experience your higher self. And you become the observer of the universe, of the earth, and of your realities within the dimensions, physical, emotional, and mental. As you acknowledge this mighty presence, you overcome the limitations of your thoughts that are stopping you from achieving your highest potentials. As you acknowledge this presence, you discover the infinite possibilities, the divine knowledge and wisdom that are within your soul and spirit, unfolding. As you feel the presence of your great spirit, you sense inner freedom, inner joy. You sense upliftment. Feel your awareness expanding and expanding, and becoming one with the universal consciousness, with the universal awareness, the intelligence. And with this mighty presence, you become aware of your emotions that are limited with pain and hurt, dissolving, transforming into a great joy, love, and happiness. And you feel your spirit nurturing with this mighty presence. You feel your awareness shifting and expanding to a new heights, to a greater understanding, to a greater knowledge and comprehension. And with this great awakening, you are examining your life, the circumstances of your life that are holding you back holding you back from achieving your great potentials. And in this mighty presence, you get all the courage and the confidence to walk your path. To live your purpose, your divine purpose that you chose to come back and complete. It is in this mighty presence where you can see clearly the details of your life, the barriers, and with the knowing that you have the power within you to change, to transform everything that you desire, you wish to see it transforming for better, for higher, for the highest good of all and yourself. And in this mighty presence, you find all the courage to do so. As you walk with confidence to fulfill your mission on earth, to accomplish your lessons, your goals. And in this mighty presence, you become aware of that inner guidance that is always there. You become aware of your great spirit that whispers, talks to you in the silence, remembering you of who you are, your origin, the purpose that you chose to come back, the lessons that you wanted to learn, to overcome the hurdles, the conflicts, the challenges, and free yourself from the limitation of the physical reality. Free yourself from the beliefs and the conditions that were imposed upon you. In this mighty presence, you become aware of the total freedom that is within you. And you have the choice. It's all up to you to utilize that creative force, that creative power to change. You have the power to create by envisioning. Create that reality that you would like to see it manifesting. Envision. As you envision, you create it in the others and see that vision manifesting wherever you are. Become aware of this mighty presence and the golden light that is within you. See yourself standing tall and see the spark of your spirit in a form of golden light that is projecting from within you and around you. See yourself as a tower of light, projecting golden rays, golden vibrations, and extend your vision. Envision the entire world, Mother Earth, and humanity around the world, and allow your light to reach near and far. Allow your light to enlighten our planet. Allow your light to create a shift in the consciousness of humanity towards peace, love, unity, and harmony. Create that vision. Envision Mother Earth surrounded with brilliant light. See Mother Earth living her golden ages again of prosperity, abundance, harmony, and love. Breathe your peaceful breath. As you breathe, feel everything and everybody breathing with you with that same breath, the breath of God. See yourself connected with everyone and everything as a one consciousness, a universal consciousness that is connected in oneness. Intent for peace, intent for love, intent for light. Allow this vision to integrate deep into your consciousness. As you follow your breath, feel your breath bringing you back to your physical body. Integrate those vibrations, your vision, wherever you are, to see it happening, materializing, with the knowing that all is perfect, all is well, and all is in divine timing. And so it is. Become aware of your breath. Become aware of your physical body. Engage with your physical sense. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and be fully present in the now.
Thank you, Ashkhen. How beautiful. What a beautiful gift to each of us. God is so great. The Spirit that is within each of you heals to and through all that can be and is. Just know this to be true. Accept the grace and the peace that's the gift. Blessings to each of you. Please stand for the next song. I feel like we just need to do amen. That was so beautiful and powerful. 1, 2, 3. Amen. Amen. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Please be seated. Now it's time to move into the second portion of our service, which is our inspirational lecture. And today is the first Sunday of the month, and so we have our regular treat, Reverend Dr. Thomas. He's the founder of the IAM organization. His experience spans over 40 years with healing and mediumship, and is a teacher and a personal friend of Reverend Steve Adkins. He's a friend of all of us. Steve's been here since the inception. Ordained in Parapsychology, Dr. Thomas, along with several of his students, instituted the Church of Divine Knowledge in 1973. Following year, they opened the Thomas Institute of Metaphysics as an adjunct to the Church of Divine Knowledge. And our church, the People's Church of Divine Prophecy, is held under the IA. So please help me welcome Dr. Thomas.
Morning.
It's nice to have a lovely assistant. Giving honor to our pastor and the board of trustees, the board of directors. Good morning. Steve talked about going back, reflecting. It seems that the month that I took off and went north, seeing that the doctor gave me an okay to do that, but he said I was supposed to take a surrogate with me. Well, I didn't think where I was staying wanted another person, but I just pretended that the woman sitting next to me on the plane was my surrogate. And I felt that was okay. But it gave me time to reflect. She just read a whole bunch of stuff that I have created in this lifetime. And going back on everything that has transpired, the goods, the bads, the enlightenment, the joy, I go back and look at over 100 weddings that I've done. I think it's about 150 funerals that I've done. And all of these things that go before you when you sit in the silence and take time to go back in your life and reflect. The things that I saw in my family, my nieces and nephew and great nieces and nephew and the great nieces and nephews, they say hi and go the other way. I don't think I had a conversation with probably only about 4 of my nieces and nephews, and great nieces and nephews. And one is one of my nieces that has had cancer and has been cured of it. And then it came back again a year ago in her lungs. She writes me then and she says, what do I do about this green stuff that you keep talking about? And I says, well, to get on the green drinks and get on the thing and keep your body alkaline. So, okay. So she gets The tumors are gone in her lungs. So we go out to eat. And what does she put into her system? The biggest piece of carrot cake I've ever seen. And then she says, oh, and she says, I haven't given up this, and I haven't given up my morning donuts either. So I don't know where her head is, but it's certainly not in taking care of her God-given gift. And I says, you got to remember that you and your Father are one. A lot of things transferred in all this dysfunctional family that I finally realized that I have. And I've been blessed now. When my nephew, whoever was at my birthday party last year, knew that my nephew came in, and that's where I stayed. But they adopted a daughter, and now she's my responsibility. And try her to realize in her pattern who is first in her life. And she thinks the baby's first in her life. She's not married, but they're living together. But the whole thing is, I'm supposed to counsel her because her father, her mother has a very stressful job. They said, you take her over and see if you can get her to make realization of who she really is and what she's supposed to do in trying to raise a baby. And the first thing I told her is, I said, I think you better go to parenting classes and also take the guy that you're going to be marrying to parenting classes because he's never been around the baby. I says, does he realize what you two have gotten yourselves into? And she says, well, I know my mom and dad are mad at me for getting pregnant. I know this and I know that. And I says, yes, but this is your life. It's nobody else's life. We got to remember that. We come first. Your mate comes second. And the children come third. Or maybe our parents come third. And maybe then the children come fourth. I have no idea which direction we're going with all of them. But it's like sorting out different patterns. And it's the way certain things have happened to me and been gifted ever since the first time I took a meditation class back in the 60s. And she says, sit in a lotus position. Well, okay, I tried to get into a lotus position, went into meditation, and the first thing that appeared to me was a snake, a cobra, with its head up like this. And I jumped up and broke my ankle, and I said, that's the only time I'm not meditating anymore. But I found out over the years that everything that's come into my being and everything that has manifested in my life on this earth plane has been due to meditation. This satellite from the parent corporation would not be here if it wasn't for Steve. And in my blueprint is to have, originally to have several satellites around the world. We do have one in New Zealand, but he's a teacher and he's working as a satellite from IAM. So as the word spreads more and more and more, and we get more and more people in, we're going to flourish more. And hopefully, this year I put on my meditation when I was up north that I was to have one more satellite someplace in Florida. I have no idea where. They didn't hand me that one. St. Germain didn't say yes or no to that one. But every day I had a chance to get up, and all of a sudden I went back on coffee. I have not had coffee in 3 years. And take a cup of coffee out on their porch and watch the sun come up over the bay and do an hour's meditation, which sort of, and then going fishing, and I don't know how many people saw the fishing picture that was posted on eBay, wherever it was posted, someplace along the line. And we have a group of my nephew, another friend, and Pat, another person. But Pat picked up because I was with him 2 years ago in the boat, and the phone would ring, and I'd say, "Hello, I'm on a spiritual retreat. I'm sorry I cannot talk to you at this time." And I would hang up my cell phone. So he picked it up, and he says, he doesn't say I'm out fishing now, he says, "I'm on my spiritual retreat, and I'm not taking any phone calls," and he hangs up his cell phone. So, you know, and if I sat there, I wasn't catching all these fish that show up in this picture. If you look at it very carefully, I'm the one on this end here with all the big ones. Because all I did was meditate. I want anything above 11 inches. So I would hit the 11-inch ones, and that's the only ones I was to keep. But he says, then you won't fill up your bag going home. So I brought home, I don't know how many pounds of fish, and she put them all away for me. But hopefully, it would be nice to have a big French fry, a fish fry, someplace where there's a house that we could have it at. It's got to be in a week?
In the next 5 days.
Oh. Oh, Dana's coming home. Okay. So we're very blessed to be here. And I focused in on sending out healing, except that I do have one member that told other people not to call me when I have all this time on my hands between reading a book and meditating to send out healing. But he says, don't disturb Dr. T, he's on vacation. Well, when you fish, I meditate. So, that meditation still carries over every morning to all the people that need healing. But I did. Meditation is the best thing. Being centered is the best thing. Keeping the light going is the best thing. And keeping the peace, the joy, and the happiness going within each one of us at all times makes up for all the wrongs that we have done along the spiritual pathway. And we've all done the wrongs, and we all do the rights. So there is no right and there is no wrong. It's what we are, who we are, and what we make of ourselves to bring the joy and the peace and the love on this planet. And with that, I say God bless you and thank you.